it's Janice from Le Roux de Fleurs. Thank you so much for joining me again in my studio, and a big thank you to Perry County Council of the Arts for continuing our drop-in program virtually online. So today we are going to make some awesome leaf impressionistic stamped cards. And here are the supplies you'll need for today's project. To make our pretty impressionistic pressed leaf cards, you will need some construction paper. It might be fun to use black, or here I have a nice soft blue color. You need some leaves and flower tops that you've picked from a walk. Make sure that you've asked permission before you pick from your yard or someone else's. You'll need a selection of green paints along with another color of your choice. I chose gold so that we can make our dandelions. You need a paintbrush, some extra newsprint for painting on top of and for blotting, a piece of scrap packaging for your palette, a pair of scissors, and a marker. To get started, you want to choose your paper and fold it in half. And we'll be able to get 2 pieces of card from 1 sheet of paper, so you can send out lots of lovely letters. Oh, keep your hands clean. Okay, so now once we folded it in half, we want to cut along that crease that we made. And then we can fold those in half again to make our cards. And put a nice crease in it. Here's our other one. So you can make 2 cards out of 1 piece of paper. And we can do one in black too, just to see how that will look. I think it'll look really nice in black. And black construction paper is such a hard color to use up otherwise. But I think for this project, it might be really fun. So we'll try one. But you can use any color paper you have. A construction paper or a little bit heavier weight paper works better because we're going to paint on it, but copy paper will be just fine as long as you don't make your paint too thick. Okay, so now that we have our card bases ready to go, we want to choose our leaf arrangement. So let's start on the black card, and we'll use this strawberry leaf that I have. So to make our project, our impressions, we need to paint the back of our leaf with a pretty color. So let's choose some colors here. Now I'm going to use this pretty mint color with a little bit of aqua. You can use whatever paint you have. You can mix colors and really experiment, so have fun with it. We're just going to put a bunch of paint on the back of our leaves. So give them a nice coat. This is why you need to work on a newsprint or a scrap piece of paper that you don't care about, because it is a little bit messy. So make sure you have a paper towel or a rag to wipe your hands on too, okay? Because you don't want a bunch of fingerprints all over everything. So once you have a nice coat of paint on the back, you'll flip it over onto your card, place it down wherever you want, and then using a piece of your scraps, help to press it and rub it down so that you get that impression of the paint onto your card. And then when you peel it up, you have your leaf outline. And then you can make a few different ones across there. And I'm going to mix a little bit different color because I want my leaves to look a little bit different. Really get that pretty effect. And this would be great to send for Mother's Day to someone that you might be missing. They make wonderful birthday cards. You can make a whole bunch of different cards with this. So I'm going to lay that petal up there. Rub it down. Nice and smooth, smoothing it out. Press it in. And then when you lift, you have that beautiful outline of the leaf, and you can see all the pretty veining and texture. It looks really nice. I like these strawberry leaves. They're really pretty. Then if you wanted to, you could use your brush or your fingers or a cotton ball and create little strawberries around there if you wanted to. You can just have fun with it, or you could do another little caterpillar critter. We'll do one last leaf here to make our strawberry cluster. Here we go, so pretty. Now I'll set that aside and let it dry, and then we can come back and add some details. So I'm gonna wipe my fingers up, and let's try one on the lighter background. So I'm gonna fold this over to a clean side so we don't mix all our paints. And let's do one with the dandelions on the lighter card so you can see how that looks. So for this one, I'm gonna use a little bit brighter of a green, like a dandelion would be. I'm just gonna stir that in. Mix it up. Again, you can play with your paints. Have fun with it. There's no rules. Just like in nature, there's so many colors that you can mix and make. And we're going to go ahead and paint the back of our dandelion leaf the same way. Give it a nice coat of paint. Gently lift it up. And then go ahead and place it down. With these little bit larger leaves, maybe you don't need to use a paper. You can experiment if that works for you. And we lift it up, and there we have our leaf outline, and I'm going to do another big one over here, I think. Not too much paint, but you want a nice coating. And it's so nice to send people fun little greeting cards, especially right now. Maybe you're missing people, not able to get together like we once were, but we can still do lots of fun things to bring sunshine to people's days. So now I'm going to use a couple of the small leaves and maybe put those down front. I'm going to put a little bit more yellow in these maybe, just to give a little variety in the color. Give it a nice coat of paint. Put one down this way coming out, like a daisy, like a dandelion cluster would grow. Look at that, so pretty. And do another one. And now let's do a flower on the top. So to make the dandelion, you can either use your finger and just dab it around, or you can actually use the dandelion top or a cotton ball. Oh, that looks really good. That looks a lot like the dandelion, doesn't it? I'll put one down here too, maybe in the middle. Pretty. And then we can use our brush to just very lightly draw a little impression of a stem. Again, these are meant to be impressionistic, so they're not to look perfect. They're meant to look, you know, a little bit just like the idea of the dandelion. Okay, I actually feel like it's missing something right here, so I'm going to use another leaf and just add one more little leaf spot down there at the bottom, just to fill it in a little bit. Ta-da! And then we'll set that aside to dry, and you can add outlines if you would like to add a little bit more definition to your drawing. You could put a little bit of extra detail in your dandelion, outline the stems and the leaves a little bit, or you can just leave it like this. And then once it's dry, you can write a lovely message inside and you've made a great card. For the black one, you can glue another little piece of white paper, or maybe use a white gel pen if you have one, or a colorful pen to write your note inside. And that is our impressionistic card. So have fun experimenting with little leaves that you can find in your yard and make a wonderful greeting for a family or friend.